Somewhere in the city, something housed, nothing visible and nothing named. The blue light comes in through the curtain now, and everything that sleeps looks the same. I've been awake since the hour had no name, since the clock forgot to keep the time. The street below is wet and empty still, and beautiful the way that cold things shine. I am not afraid of the dark I keep inside. I just don't know what it wants when it opens up at night. Blue hours, the blue hours, when the city doesn't know that I exist. Blue hours, the blue hours, I reach for something through the early mist. I don't know what I'm reaching for, but something in the blue is calling from a place that has no door. And I am still here, listening. I've read the words that no one else was reading. I've written down the thing beneath the thought, the language that the rational day refuses. The blue thing in the body can't be taught. I looked into the eyes of things at midnight. They looked back without knowing what I was. We held each other in the dark a moment, and then the blue began to lighten some. I am not afraid of the dark I keep inside. I just don't know what it wants when it opens up at night. Blue hours, the blue hours, when the city doesn't know that I exist. Blue hours, the blue hours, I reach for something through the early mist. I don't know what I'm reaching for, but something in the blue is calling from a place that has no door. And I am still here, listening. There is a kind of animal inside me that doesn't speak the language of the day. It only moves when everyone is sleeping. It only howls when I have run or say. I let it run along the empty sidewalk. I let it find the wet and silver road. It isn't lost, it knows where blue things live. It carries what the morning can't be told. The blue hour is not loneliness exactly. It's something older and without a name. The city and the dark and the wanting are not three things, they are all the same. I don't know why the night is so much kinder. I don't know why the blue looks like a home, but I have lived my best life in the blue hours, among the awake and the alone. Blue hours, the blue hours, when the city doesn't know that I exist. Blue hours, the blue hours, I reach for something through the early mist. I don't know what I'm reaching for, but something in the blue is calling from a place that has no door. And I am still here, listening. They said the poems were disturbing, strange. They said, why does he write of dogs in dark? I said, because the blue hour teaches things the daylight never reaches, never marks. The tongue knows things the mind is not yet named. The body knows the how before the word. I wrote it down because it needed saying, and some of it I think was finally heard. Blue hours, the city is still sleeping. Blue hours, and I am still awake. And somewhere a man is standing at a window in the blue, and something in him knows the name of what he doesn't know. He read everything he could find, Stevenson, the classics, the mind of every writer who burned too fast and knew their light was made to last. He taught by day and wrote by night. The asthma kept him close to light. 33 years, a handful of books, more inside him than anyone looks. The moon came through the window, he watched it and kept writing. Something in him wild, something in him waiting. Tiger moon, the writer and the creature. Tiger moon, the fever was his teacher. He gave the tiger words to speak and gave the words a tiger's reach. 33 years and still enough to say the thing that mattered most. He wrote the scholar who became a tiger, the general lost in enemy snow, the master who forgot how to aim, the student watching the master go. Each story was a question he couldn't answer with his name. What is the self beneath the self? What stays when nothing stays the same? The moon came through the window, he watched it and kept writing. Something in him wild, something in him waiting. Tiger moon, the writer and the creature. Tiger moon, the fever was his teacher. He gave the tiger words to speak and gave the words a tiger's reach. 33 years and still enough to say the thing that mattered most. What is the self beneath the self? What is the art beneath the art? He asked this quietly in every book he wrote, and left the question open like a window. The moon was full the night he stopped, more stories waiting mid-thought drop, but what he left was clear and bright. A tiger moving through the night, not just one road, not just one fear, but every person riding here at 2 a.m. with something wild that doesn't have a name yet. Tiger moon, tiger moon, 33 and still riding. And somewhere the tiger is still moving through the moonlit field. The station lit with gathering dark, a ticket pressed against my heart. As far as you are willing go, I said, as far as rivers flow. We boarded where the sky bends down into the river, into town, into the light that has no name. And the train moved and I came through something older than a word, through fields of stars that breathed and stirred. The window held the whole of it, the dark, the light, the infinite. River of heaven, the train goes where the current goes. River of heaven, nobody here needs to know the destination or the hour, just the moving and the light. I'm here beside you in the cosmos, and the cosmos is alright. The swans flew white through river dark, from station light to station light, and passengers beside us slept away from platforms out of sight. I never asked you where we were, you never seemed to need a name for what the window held for us. The beautiful was all the same. Through something gentler than a star, the river carried us so far. I reached across the sea and felt the warmth before the cold would come. River of heaven, the train goes where the current goes. River of heaven, nobody here needs to know the destination or the hour, just the moving and the light. I'm here beside you in the cosmos, and the cosmos is alright. Across the stars burn low and clear, above the river cold and near, and everything alive out there knew we were passing, didn't care, and not caring felt like love somehow. The way the cosmos holds you now, not asking who you are when, just holding you until the end. Where did you go? I looked around at empty light. I know now where the train was going. I understood it in the night, and knowing doesn't break it open. The beautiful stays beautiful. The river keeps its own direction, and that is more than merciful. River of heaven, the train goes where the current goes. River of heaven, nobody here needs to know the destination or the hour, just the moving and the light. I'm here beside you in the cosmos, and the cosmos is alright. I woke inside my ordinary town. The train was gone, the river down, behind the hill where stars still burned, behind the things I hadn't learned. But in the cold I kept the window, the one that faced the river light, the one I shared with someone passing through the beautiful that night. River of heaven, the train is still running. Oh, river of heaven, the seat beside me stays warm, and somewhere two friends are watching the cosmos from a window they share, and the cosmos is watching them back.
I walked the old river bank at midnight. The willows bent the same way they had always bent. The women of the quarter knew my footsteps and didn't ask me where my evening went. I kept a diary, not for anyone, but because the world was going wrong too fast, and someone had to write the smell of river, and someone had to keep the things that last. Paris showed me what elegance could be. Old Tokyo taught me what it cost to lose. I came back to the lantern light of Asakusa and spent my life recording what I choose. Bokuto nights, the river quarter after the rain. Bokuto nights, I won't go back the way I came. The city they are building has no willows. The city they are building has no song. Bokuto nights, the older world is floating downstream, and I am floating right along. I ate alone at restaurants I trusted. The same counter, the same lacquered tea. I noted the proprietress was aging, and that I too was aging. We agreed. The flowers in the quarter bloomed in winter. They had no other season they were given, and I who love the art of the unnecessary have spent my days among the impermanent and driven.
They call me decadent, I thank them. Decadence is just a love of the precise, the exact shade of a lantern through wet paper, the exact sound of a chemist in it twice. The tempo of the night is what I studied, not the purpose, not the goal, not the design. The diary is the only form of honesty that doesn't ask you to be more than what you find.
She crossed the bridge below the willows. She never asked and I never explained. I watched her go back into the narrow lanterns, the way all beautiful things go when it's rained. I had my tea and took my notes precisely. I put the date, I put the weather, done. The city kept on building over everything, and the diary kept refusing to be won. Old Tokyo keeps its face now in the shadows. The willow streets are gone, the lanterns few, but somewhere in the smell of rain on pavement I still find what I was always reaching to. The world I kept a record of was fading, lit by paper lanterns, smelling of the rain. But lantern light on river water after midnight is the only kind of light I can explain. Bokuto nights, the willows in the rain. Bokuto nights, the lanterns on the water, and somewhere an old man at a counter is writing in a notebook the date, the weather, what it smelled like before it was gone. I let my hair down in the spring. I didn't ask permission from the cold. I let it tangle like it wanted to. I let myself be 30 years old. I read the poems that the men had written, soft and careful and politely done. I thought there must be room for what I'm feeling. There must be room for this beneath the sun. Spring is brief and I am here, and the blood is warm and I'm not afraid. Tangled hair, I won't smooth it down for anyone. Tangled hair, the spring is short and I have just begun to feel the weight of a warm afternoon, to say what lives in me without a room. Tangled hair, the peonies are blooming, and so am I. You speak of virtue like a roof above us. You say be careful, be correct, be small. I reach across to where your hand is resting and ask, don't you feel anything at all?
The body is not something to be hidden. It is the only honest thing I own. I won't apologize for how it carries the spring, the heat, the weight of being known. Spring is brief and I am here, and the blood is warm and I'm not afraid. Tangled hair, I won't smooth it down for anyone. Tangled hair, the spring is short and I have just begun to feel the weight of a warm afternoon, to say what lives in me without a room. Tangled hair, the peonies are blooming, and so am I. I told my brother, do not go, do not, no cause is worth the thing you are. I said it in a poem because the poem could travel further than my voice by far. They called me dangerous, they called me wrong. I said I wrote what lives in me no more. A woman is allowed to love this loudly. A woman has a body worth writing for. Every woman who has felt something and swallowed it before the room could hear. I wrote the thing we were not meant to publish. I wrote it for the spring, I wrote it clear. I wrote it for the body that keeps feeling, even when the world says that's enough. I wrote it for the tangle, not the smoothing. I wrote it for the warm and not the tough. Tangled hair, I won't smooth it down for anyone. Tangled hair, the spring is short and I have just begun to feel the weight of a warm afternoon, to say what lives in me without a room. Tangled hair, the peonies are blooming, and so am I. The spring was brief, it always is and was. The hair has silver in it now, it's true. But what I wrote at 30 still is burning, and something in it still is reaching you. I wrote 1,000 poems for the living. I wrote them fast because the spring was short. I don't regret the tangle or the fire. The unsmoothed hair was everything I sought. Tangled hair, the spring keeps coming back. Tangled hair, and I keep letting it. And somewhere a woman is letting her hair down in the quiet of a room, and feeling everything on purpose.
I sold the hut and gave the door away and set out north before the spring was gone. The road was narrow and I brought my shadow, and my shadow kept on asking why we'd come. The old pond was behind me by a morning. The frog had jumped, the sound had settled in. I carried it the way you carry water, a sound that doesn't slosh, doesn't spill, doesn't thin. What is the use of a haiku? Someone wondered. 17 syllables against the universe. I said a haiku doesn't argue with the universe. It agrees and in agreeing disperses. Narrow road to the far provinces of the deep north. Narrow road, every step a syllable going forth. The summer grass is all that remains of where the soldiers dreamed. The warrior's dream is the grass dream, and the grass dream is what I mean. Narrow road, the crow lands on the bare branch. Narrow road, I count the beats and walk at
Hirezumi I stood in the ruined field. The general's fortresses were flowers and weeds. I thought the whole ambition of a dynasty comes down to what the summer grass concedes. And I, the traveler, the wandering one, kept walking north past things that used to stand. And every ruin was a kind of instruction. The most that lasts is what you understand. What is the use of a haiku? Someone wondered. 17 syllables against the universe. I said a haiku doesn't argue with the universe. It agrees and in agreeing disperses. Narrow road to the far provinces of the deep north. Narrow road, every step a syllable going forth. The summer grass is all that remains of where the soldiers dreamed. The warrior's dream is the grass dream, and the grass dream is what I mean. Narrow road, the crow lands on the bare branch. Narrow road, I count the beats and walk. I didn't want to write about the beautiful, I wanted to write what the beautiful is made of. The silence after the frog breaks the water, the cold before the bush warbler calls above. The moon at Matsushima needed nothing. I stood and laughed because I couldn't write. Some things arrived too whole for 17 syllables, and that completeness was its own delight. I'm old now, or the road is hard to say. Which of us has thinned more with the years? My sandals have seen more of Japan than generals, and seen it at a gentler depth than theirs. At the great northern river I watched the boats go by, the logging raft riding the early flood, and felt the river moving through my notebook, as quiet and direct as traveling blood. Narrow road to the far provinces of the deep north. Narrow road, every step a syllable going forth. The summer grass is all that remains of where the soldiers dreamed. The warrior's dream is the grass dream, and the grass dream is what I mean. Narrow road, the crow lands on the bare branch. Narrow road, I count the beats and walk. Narrow road, the moon above Matsushima. Narrow road, 5 syllables, 7, 5. And somewhere traveler on a narrow road counts the syllables of rain, and the rain agrees and disperses, and the road continues. I left the city in the early summer heat. I told myself the green will fix the gray. I rented a small house beside the river and carried all my sadness down that way. The rice fields move like water in the breeze. The heron stood as still as painted things. A dog appeared one morning from the reeds and walked beside me on my wanderings. The countryside is beautiful, I have to say it even now. The haze haze on the mountains, the dragonflies, the slow plowing of the clouds. The countryside is beautiful, the creek, the rice fields, the blue. But I brought myself here and I'm still blue. I thought the distance would dissolve it, I thought the silence would do something new. But the sadness came along beside me like a dog that knows the route you always knew. The village women dried their laundry in the sun. The old man walked the ridge lines in the dusk. I tried to write, but every sentence curved back to the same place, the same gray crust. The dog and I would sit beside the creek where the water moved too slow to make a sound. And I would watch the current and try to name it, this thing that lived in me without a ground. The countryside is beautiful, I have to say it even now. The haze on the mountains, the dragonflies, the slow plowing of the clouds. The countryside is beautiful, the creek, the rice fields, the blue. But I brought myself here and I'm still blue. I thought the distance would dissolve it, I thought the silence would do something new. But the sadness came along beside me like a dog that knows the route you always knew. I read a poet I'd loved in the shade of the persimmon tree, and thought he knew this too, the beautiful disease, the kind of grief that isn't grief exactly, the kind of peace that puts you ill at ease. The city had its noise to blame for everything. Out here there was no noise, no crowd, no cause, just me and the blue and the dog in the late summer, in the deep interior without its laws. By autumn I had given up on curing. The countryside was not a clinic, never was. I walked the dog in the cold persimmon morning and stopped pretending it would go, because the sadness is the blue that makes the rice feel beautiful. The same blue that lives in everything I write. To lose it would be to lose the eye that sees it. The beautiful disease is also my sight. The countryside is beautiful, the creek, the rice fields, the blue. But I brought myself here and I'm still blue. I thought the distance would dissolve it, I thought the silence would do something new. But the sadness came along beside me like a dog that knows the route you always knew. The dog is still with me, the creek is still moving, the countryside is still beautiful. I am still here, still blue, and strangely at peace with it.
The wind has risen in the sanatorium garden. The pine trees hold and then release the sound. I watch you from the window of my writing, your white dress moving slowly on the ground. You said the wind has risen, we must try to live. And I heard it as a vow more than a phrase. The wind keeps rising over every autumn, and I keep trying through the numbered days. How do you love a thing that's disappearing? How do you hold what time is marked to go? The answer was the light across the mountains. The answer was the morning you said so. The wind has risen, my love. The wind has risen and we must try. The wind has risen over the mountain range, and the sky is wide enough to hold everything we couldn't keep for longer. Everything the autumn told us was too old. The wind has risen, we must live, we must live. The wind has risen and I hear
I read to you in the long afternoons when your hands were too tired for the page, and the sentences felt different in that valley, each word gentler, more precise with age. I used to think that beauty was forever, that the thing I loved would stay because I loved, but the wind that rose above the large trees told me beauty doesn't linger, it arrives. How do you love a thing that's disappearing? How do you hold what time is marked to go? The answer was the light across the mountains. The answer was the morning you said so. The wind has risen, my love. The wind has risen, we must try. The wind has risen over the mountain range, and the sky is wide enough to hold everything we couldn't keep for longer. Everything the autumn told us was too old. The wind has risen, we must live, we must live. The wind has risen and I hear you still. They ask me how I wrote of you, as if the writing held you, as if the sentence could arrest the season as it left. But I wrote because you asked me to believe that living and the telling were the same, that every morning counted when you counted them, and every morning was enough to claim. Now the sanatorium is empty in November. The garden keeps its slow, unchanging round. The wind keeps visiting the pines above me. I still hear your dress against the ground. I wrote one book, one thin and careful book, about two people learning how to stay in a season that was shortened from the start. And still the wind arrives each day. Some loves are held inside a single season. Some seasons last for what feels like a year. I pressed your hand and listened to the pines, and something in the silence said, I'm here. The word for this is not the word for sorrow. The word for this is not the word for grief. It is the word for standing at the window, watching what you love become belief. How do you love a thing that's disappearing? How do you hold what time is marked to go? The answer was the light across the mountains. The answer was the morning you said so. The wind has risen, my love. The wind has risen, we must try. The wind has risen over the mountain range, and the sky is wide enough to hold everything we couldn't keep for longer. Everything the autumn told us was too old. The wind has risen, we must live. The wind has risen and I hear you still. The wind has risen, the pines receive it. The wind has risen, my love, my love. And somewhere, two people in a mountain garden are not leaving yet. The dress moves, the pine moves, the wind says, try.
I came here looking for a beetle in the dunes, my notebook and my specimen jars in hand. The village men were kind and showed me shelter down in the pit where a woman lived in sand. I slept and woke to find the ladder deep and loose to hold their grip. And when I called, they gave me food and water and explained in plain terms, this is it. I told myself I'd find a way by morning. I told myself a man with reason gets out. But morning came and brought another layer of sand along the walls, and then I stopped. The sand comes down, I clear it out, and the sand comes down again. This is what I am now. The sand comes down, I clear it out, and the sand comes down again. This is what I am now. I made a plan, I tracked the guard rotation. I marked the hours, measured rope and height. I tried the walls with every calculation. I nearly made it twice, I failed both nights. The woman watched me plan and said nothing. She shook her head and kept on shoveling sand. And I began to notice how efficiently she moved, as if this was the only land. I told myself I'd find a way by morning. I told myself a man with a reason gets out. But morning came and brought another layer of sand along the walls, and then I stopped. The sand comes down, I clear it out, and the sand comes down again. This is what I am now. The sand comes down, I clear it out, and the sand comes down again. This is what I am now. I tried to remember what I was called before the dunes. There was a name, a workplace, someone waiting, an apartment with a view of a street. I tried to remember what the street looked like, the sound the door made when I left in the morning, the smell of my own coat. I tried, and the sand comes in, and the sand comes in. And saw the sea was close, but I turned back. There was a problem. I've been working a water trap I built to catch the moisture from the sand. I told myself I'd go tomorrow. I told myself the village needed this, and somewhere in the logic I had found the meaning of a life without a list. The sand comes down, I clear it out, and the sand comes down again. This is what I am now. The sand comes down, I clear it out, and the sand comes down again. This is what I am now. The dunes outside, they listed me as missing. 7 years, then declared, and somewhere in the dunes, a man is working with a water trap who used to have a name, who found the thing they lost was this.
In the Dotonbori lights at night, the couple argues in plain sight. She says he's useless, and he is. He knows it, and she knows it too. They've tried the noodle stall, the inn, the vegetable stand that caved in spring. Each venture ending like the last, in warm embarrassment and laughs. But they keep going. In Osaka, they always keep going, because what else is there? Osaka wanderer, Osaka wanderer, the river lights are on tonight. Osaka wanderer, Osaka wanderer, the ordinary is alright. We tried and failed at 17 things, and she's still here, and so am I, in the city of the working people under the Osaka sky. I wrote down every yen they spent. The numbers were the whole content of their story. How much cost each meal, each try, each thing they lost. The numbers were more real than words, more honest than the beautiful. I learned that from the merchant class who built Osaka on their mass. But they keep going in Osaka, they always keep going, because that's just how it is. Osaka wanderer, Osaka wanderer, the river lights are on tonight. Osaka wanderer, Osaka wanderer, the ordinary is alright. The critics said I wrote too fast, too rough around the edges, past the acceptable, too much noise, too much the voice of ordinary choice. I said yes, exactly right, I wanted ordinary light, the kind that falls on people who get up and try the next thing too. Myoto Zenzai, the sweet red bean that couples share at the shrine, not because it's refined, but because it's warm. And in Osaka, warmth is the whole point, warmth and trying again in the river at night, and the argument that ends with someone making tea in the morning that comes because it always does. Osaka wanderer, They said I burned too fast, I did, I rode through every night. Osaka's still there, and so is the couple at the restaurant, and the noodle stall, and the canal, and the ordinary life of it all. Osaka wanderer, Osaka wanderer, the river lights are still on. Osaka wanderer, Osaka wanderer, the couple is still arguing somewhere in Dotonbori, and that's enough. That's more than enough.
Spin me round beneath the lights, trapeze in silk on summer nights. I count the rings from where I stand, a paper program in my hand, the sawdust warm beneath my feet. I lose myself inside the beat. The tent is full of yellow glow, and everything I'll never know. The crowd goes wild, I smile along, I hum the words to someone else's song, just close enough to feel the heat, just far enough to keep my seat. You are yo-yo, the rope swings high. You are yo-yo, we never ask why, we clap our hands, we watch them fall. We leave the tent, we don't recall. You are yo-yo, the music plays. You are yo-yo, through numbered days, we bought the ticket, learned the route, we never figured our way out. The sequins catch the afternoon, a clown collapses, gone too soon. I laugh because the others do, I don't know what else I can do. The acrobat releases grip, and for 1 second, one long slip, the whole tent holds a single breath between the living and the rest. But then they catch and we exhale, and someone sells a ginger ale, and life its usual course. We never think about the force. The rope swings high. We never ask why. We clap our hands, we watch them fall. We leave the tent, we don't recall. The music plays. Through numbered days, we bought the ticket, learned the route. We never figured our way out. I came here as a boy, I think, or maybe just a man at brink. The lions paced behind their bars. I traced my finger to the stars. They painted on the canvas roof of all the world's collective proof that beauty lives inside the cage, that wonder fades with every age. I sat too long, the show grew thin. The clown removed his painted grin, and underneath just tired eyes and creaking knees and worn disguise. Maybe circus, maybe dreaming, maybe I was always leaving from the start. Maybe sawdust, maybe longing, maybe something I kept holding to my heart. And the tent comes down at midnight, and the trucks move on by morning, and the field is bare and quiet, and the grass remembers nothing but the way. The rope swings high. We never ask why. We clap our hands, we watch them fall. We leave the tent, we don't recall. The music plays. Through numbered days, we bought the ticket, learned the route. We never figured our way out. I walked back through the evening air, the smell of popcorn everywhere. The children run ahead of me, as I was once, as I was free. Before I learned to count the rings, before I knew the cost of things, before the acrobat let go, and I was watching from below. The music never really stops, it just moves somewhere you can't follow. Spin me around beneath the lights one more time. The summer had no ending that we knew. We ran between the festivals and gates. We never said the thing that made it true. We didn't know enough to know to wait. The paper lanterns lit the narrow road. We counted them like days we didn't count. I knew your name the way the body knows, a warmth that lives below the line of thought. I didn't know it yet, that summer has a last one. I didn't know the calendar would turn without permission. The last summer, I didn't know it when I lived it. The last summer, the lanterns and the festivals and heat. We ran until the evening caught us both, and something in the running was complete. The last summer, before the world came in, I saw you one last time across the road. You cut your hair, I'd let mine down for good. The distance was a sentence with no words, the kind of thing that once begun withstood. They said you'd gone to read the sutras now. They said I'd learned what the women learn. I didn't ask if you had heard them say there are some summers that you don't return. I didn't know it yet, that summer has a last one. I didn't know the calendar would turn without permission. The last summer, the last summer, I didn't know it when I lived it. The last summer, the last summer, the lanterns and the festivals and heat. I wrote it all the way that no one writes in language older than the world we knew. The old words held the feeling better somehow. The careful grammar of I thought of you. I wrote because the summer wouldn't last. I wrote because I didn't have the other. I wrote while counting coins against the cold. The way you keep a warmth by keeping further. A daffodil fell from the window ledge, or maybe I let go. You passed below without a word, the way you'd always known to go. I watched you from behind the paper screen. You didn't turn to see the winter road was quiet and was long, and that was all of it, and that was we. The last summer, the last summer, I didn't know it when I lived it. The last summer, the last summer, the lanterns and the festivals and heat. We ran until the evening caught us both, and something in the running was complete. The last summer, before the world came in, they put my face on something made of paper. I think she would have laughed, the girl I was, the one who ran between the festival gates before the world decided what she was. The last summer never leaves completely. It sits below the surface of the cold. It lives in anyone who ran once freely, before they learn the things that make you old. The last summer, the last summer, the lanterns are still lit. The last summer, the last summer, somewhere they are still running, and somewhere two children are counting paper lanterns on a summer road, and neither one knows yet that it's the last one.
I left the river when I was still a child. They say I was left there first beside the reeds. I grew up knowing distance has a name, and the name was the sound of the Saigawa in spring. They gave me a house, they gave me different walls, a temple roof where I learned to hold my tongue. But the river kept arriving in my sleep, the cold gray current and the song I never sung. Hometown is not a place you stand inside, it's the thing you wake toward from far away. The closer you return, the less it holds you. The more beautiful it gets, the more you stay away. Saigawa, Saigawa, the river runs without me through the stones. Saigawa, Saigawa, I wrote the poem, now I can't go home. Hometown is a word that lives in longing, not in the street, not in the gate. I found you in my chest the morning after I left you
you at the edge of too late. Saigawa, Saigawa. The water holds a shape it doesn't keep. Saigawa, Saigawa. I loved you most when you were out of reach. A fellow poet came to me like a brother. We walked the city talking about the cold. Two men who felt too much and said too little, and wrote it out in lines the season told. He loved the city, I loved what I'd left. The same loneliness, two different names. He had his cats and I had my river. Strangers who found the same word for our ache. Hometown is not a place you stand inside. It's the thing you ache toward from far away. The closer you return, the less it holds you. The more beautiful it gets, the more you stay away. Saigawa, Saigawa. The river runs without me through the storm. Saigawa, Saigawa. I wrote the poem, now I can't go home. Hometown is a word that lives in longing, not in the street, not in the gate. I found you in my chest the morning after I left you at the edge of too late. Saigawa, Saigawa. The water holds a shape it doesn't keep. Saigawa, Saigawa. I loved you most when you were out of reach. Hometown is far away, and there it should remain. To think of is enough, to go there is to lose it. The beauty lives in the thinking, in the distance is the river, and the river is the poem. I wrote about the cold light on the water. I wrote about the reeds where I began. And the writing was returning in a way, a kind of going home that doesn't end. In autumn I would write the light changing, the way it touched the mountains above the town, and feel the Saigawa rising in my throat each time I tried to hold what can't be held down. I was abandoned, or the river found me. I can't be sure which story is more true, but I have loved the leaving and the longing, and made them both into something I could use. Saigawa, Saigawa. The river runs without me through the storm. Saigawa, Saigawa. I wrote the poem, now I can't go home. Hometown is a word that lives in longing, not in the street, not in the gate. I found you in my chest the morning after I left you at the edge of too late. Saigawa, Saigawa. The water holds a shape it doesn't keep. Saigawa, Saigawa. I loved you most when you were out of reach. Saigawa. The reeds are still there. I wrote this poem far from you, and somewhere, a child beside a river doesn't know yet that leaving is how love begins. The water moves, the reeds stay, the poem holds. We built the rooms to keep the brightness out. The golden shadow needs the dark to shine. We never trusted light to show us beauty. We trusted the place where the light declined. The paper screen diffused what came from outside. A softer world arrived.
lived between the panes. We understood that beauty hides in corners and brings itself to those who stay and wait. They said, light everything, illuminate, make it all visible, make it all clear. I said, the things that live in shadow were never meant to leave it. In praise of shadows, in praise of shadows, the gold that only glows when you go dim. In praise of shadows, in praise of shadows, the beautiful things are kept inside of them. Not the bright room, not the afternoon, but the corner where the candle hasn't reached. In praise of shadows, where the beauty sleeps. The woman in the dark was more herself there, the skin that candlelight could barely name. I didn't need to see her clearly, the shadow made her beauty more the same. There is a texture only darkness teaches, the slow arrival of a thing half known. The objects in the far end of the temple had waited centuries to not be shown. They said, light everything, illuminate, make it all visible, make it all clear. I said, the things that live in shadow were never meant to leave it. In praise of shadows, in praise of shadows, the gold that only glows when you go dim. In praise of shadows, in praise of shadows, the beautiful things are kept inside of them. Not the bright room, not the afternoon, but the corner where the candle hasn't reached. In praise of shadows, where the beauty sleeps. The west came in with their electric brightness and said, now we can see what things are worth. I watched them light the corners of the old rooms, and something in the old rooms left the earth. I am not arguing for the past exactly, I'm saying something lived in what we kept. The lacquer and the screen and the dim tatami held beauty that the bright room swept. Give me the room where I can't see the ceiling. Give me the table where the candle dies. Give me the gold that only comes at twilight, the thing that hides itself before my eyes. There is a kind of knowing in the darkness. There is a kind of beauty in the seam between the seen and unseen. That's the country I have spent my whole life trying to dream. In praise of shadows, in praise of shadows, the gold that only glows when you go dim. In praise of shadows, in praise of shadows, the beautiful things are kept inside of them. Not the bright room, not the afternoon, but the corner where the candle hasn't reached. In praise of shadows, where the beauty sleeps. I wrote about the women in the darkness, about obsession and the silken shame. I wrote the things that daylight called indecent, and the shadow was the point, not just the frame. Because the human thing lives in the margins, in the almost seen, the just beyond the light. The beautiful things are not afraid of shadow. They were born there, they require night. In praise of shadows, in praise of shadows, the candle is enough. In praise of shadows, in praise of shadows, the bright room takes too much.
And somewhere a person is sitting in a dim room, watching the gold. And nothing needs to be illuminated.
The woman at the bridge was not a woman, but I could not look away. The lantern she was holding had no shadow, and she had not moved since yesterday. I know the shapes that grief can take at midnight. I know the sound of water underneath. But what I saw was older than my reasons, and stood between the living and the bequeathed. Don't cross that bridge alone. Don't call a name you know. The things that wait at dusk were not made to let you go. The other side is closer than the morning. The other side is just beneath the floor. She's standing where the lantern meets the water. I've seen this face in stories told before, and I don't know if she needs me or she's warning. I don't know if that tenderness is true. She looks like she's been waiting for someone like you. They told me it was fever, told me rest now. The mind makes shapes from water and from smoke. But I had touched the hem of what she carried, and woke up to a chord I hadn't broke. The beautiful are often also dangerous in this world, and in whatever waits, I watched her and I knew she wasn't leaving. She just lived a little past the gates. Don't cross that bridge alone. Don't call a name you know. The things that wait at dusk were not made to let you go. The other side is closer than the morning. The other side is just beneath the floor. She's standing where the lantern meets the water. I've seen this face in stories told before, and I don't know if she needs me or she's warning. I don't know if that tenderness is true. Like she's been waiting for someone like you. I've read the scriptures, I've kept the suppers, I've stayed indoors when autumn thins the air. But beauty doesn't ask for your permission, and neither does the grief of the aware. The moon is full but casts a crooked shadow. The road turns back before it reaches town. I should have stopped before the lantern found me. I should have put the old rope down. They found me in the morning by the river. They say I've been there since the evening bell. I don't remember crossing or returning. I only know I've been to where she dwells. Now I write it in the old style stories, the beauty and the danger and the bridge. And readers feel the pull behind the lantern. The love that lives just past the furthest ridge. The other side is closer than the morning. The other side is just beneath the floor. She's standing where the lantern meets the water. I've seen this face in stories told before. And I don't know if she needs me or she's mourning. I don't know if that tenderness is true. But the other side is closer than the morning. And she looks like she's been waiting for someone like you. The other side, just below the water. The other side, the lantern's still burning. And somewhere, a woman who is not a woman is waiting on a bridge that goes in only one direction. Her light is so beautiful. Beautiful.
I came from a country without ghosts, or so I thought, crossing the sea in 1890. The castle town was waiting in the November rain, and something older than the city spoke to me. I walked the castle town, the canal paths at dusk, the stone lanterns dripping cold into the dark. And I felt it, not danger, not a warning, something left behind still tending to its mark. The dead don't rest here the way they do elsewhere. They stand just past the door frame, listening to the air. The dead don't rest here, they linger at the door. They have one more thing they wanna say before they go. The dead don't rest here, they won't release the shore. They have one more name they wanna hear, just one more time before they go. She came through the snow without footprints. Her face was white as the blizzard she wore. Her breath was ice against the sleeping woodcutter. She said, "Do not speak of this, not ever, not more." I married her, I kept the secret long, until I told the story by the winter fire. And she rose up from the children and the threshold, with eyes I did not recognize, cold, pure. The dead don't rest here the way they do elsewhere. They stand just past the door frame, listening to the air. The dead don't rest here, they linger at the door. They have one more thing they wanna say before they go. The dead don't rest here, they won't release the shore. They have one warning they wanna hear, just one more time before they go. And the blind musician, the blind Biwa man, they wrote the sutras on his skin every inch. All but the ears they forgot in the candlelight. And the hands of the dead came back to finish. The music he played was too beautiful to leave unanswered in the graveyard air. The samurai dead keep their listening posture. Even the sutras can't quiet what is there. Now I am old, now I have become a stranger, turned familiar. I sit in the castle town, I ride in the lantern hour. I have translated every ghost of this country into a tongue that can't contain their power. But I am still here, still writing what I cannot explain to the West, or even to myself. The dead are beautiful here, that is the difference. They are not only fear, they are something else.
night. The canal reflects no moon. Somewhere a blind man plays by wall for an audience that only he can see. And I am writing by the window, writing everything down. What the dead said before they finally let go.
The ordinary world was clean and bright, but something in its brightness wasn't right. I looked beneath the surface of the things and found the beautiful, the broken underneath. They said, come back, the light is good up here. I said, I know, but something's more clear. In the attic, in the chair, in the gaslit hall, where the strange things gather after all. And I found something there that the daylight couldn't hold, a tenderness the ordinary never told.
Strange is tender.
I love the face nobody shows.
Strange is tender.
The hidden thing that no one knows. I built my world from crooked lines and paper walls and gaslit signs, and loved it like a secret room, the way a flower loves the dark before it blooms. I lay inside a chair to feel the weight of a stranger sitting small and intimate. Not evil, not just wanting something near, a warmth that didn't ask me to appear. I crawled the spaces between the ceiling boards and watched the human world below, adored, not cruelly, just the way an exile learns to love the place where he was never born. And I found something there that the doorway couldn't hold, a tenderness the ordinary never told.
Strange is tender.
I love the face nobody shows.
Strange is tender.
The hidden thing that no one knows. I built my world from crooked lines and paper walls and gaslit signs, and loved it like a secret room, the way a flower loves the dark before it blooms.
I took the name of Edgar for my own, to say I loved the dark before I was known. The man who also built his rooms below and filled them full of what he couldn't show. The grotesque was not malice, not a game. It was the honest face beneath the shame of ordinary living, ordinary lies. The strange was where the real thing came alive.
Every criminal I wrote was me in different clothes. Every mask a mystery, a letter no one knows. I built the labyrinth to say I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. The twisted love inside each page was beautiful and clear.
Strange is tender.
I love the face nobody shows.
Strange is tender.
The hidden thing that no one knows. I built my world from crooked lines and paper walls and gaslit signs, and loved it like a secret room, the way a flower loves the dark before it blooms.
The Taisho lights are gone, but something stays in every reader who has felt the same. That pull toward the wrong and beautiful, it makes the ordinary feel so small.
If you have ever loved a crooked thing, a shadow more than what the bright days bring, you're in the attic too, you're not alone. The strange is tender, and it knows you home.
Strange is tender, strange is tender.
The gaslight doesn't go out.
Strange is tender, strange is tender.
It knows you by the dark you've carried, and somewhere someone is reading Rampo in a room the world forgot.
this place they know.
I woke up in a room I didn't build, with a name I couldn't verify. The doctor said relax, you'll remember soon, but I don't trust a voice that doesn't try. The corridors were long and wide and endless. The other patients never met my eyes. I've read the file they made me. It sounds like someone who would scare me if I recognize the lies. What if the self is just a story, a manuscript the mind agrees to sign? What if the one who writes is not the writer? What if every thought you think is not quite mine? Dogger Magra, the maze has got no entrance. Dogger Magra, the exit looks the same. Dogger Magra, the man inside the story doesn't know he is the one who wrote his name. Dogger Magra, the womb remembers everything it knew. Dogger Magra, your ancestors are watching what you do. And the walls and the walls and the walls keep breathing. I found the book they wrote about the patient, a thick stack of pages with my face. It said I had committed something terrible, but couldn't find the memory or place. The doctor smiled the way a painting smiles, a fixed expression that can't be undone. I asked him, am I reading or am I written? He laughed and said, you're both of them, my son. What if the self is just a story, a manuscript the mind agrees to sign? What if the one who writes is not the writer? What if every thought you think is not quite mine? Dogger Magra, the maze has got no entrance. Dogger Magra, the exit looks the same. Dogger Magra, the man inside the story doesn't know he is the one who wrote his name. Dogger Magra, the womb remembers everything it knew. Dogger Magra, your ancestors are watching what you do. And the walls and the walls and the walls keep breathing. They say we carry memory in the body before we have the words to call it thought. The child who cries at shapes they cannot name, yet is crying for the things their bloodline caught. I don't know what I did before the waking. I don't know what the doctor's file describes. I only know the corridor is endless, and something in me recognizes it. I finished the book at last, I think I did. The pages seemed to multiply when read. The final page had only one word written, and that word was a mirror to my head. I sat it down and heard the room exhale. The patients in the hall began to hum. The doctor opened one more door and said, you finished it, so now the next can come. Dogger Magra, the maze has got no entrance. Dogger Magra, the exit looks the same. Dogger Magra, the man inside the story doesn't know he is the one who wrote his name. Dogger Magra, the womb remembers everything it knew. Dogger Magra, your ancestors are watching what you do. And the walls and the walls and the walls keep breathing. Dogger Magra, the womb remembers. Dogger Magra, Dogger Magra, the corridor is endless, and somewhere a man is reading a manuscript about a man reading a manuscript. And the last page is a mirror, and the mirror is this room.
The fireflies came that summer, the way they always came. They didn't know the field was different, they came the same. She held out her hands to catch one, the way she always did. And in the light of what she caught there, she looked like a kid. The fireflies don't know about the summer. They carry their small lights regardless. The last summer the fireflies came. We had nothing but the lights and the blinking in the darkness of 10,000 little lights. The last summer the fireflies came. I held her hand so tight. I thought if I could keep her warm enough, we'd both be alright. The city wasn't where we left it. The streets had changed their shape. We found a shelter in the hillside and made it into something like a home. She asked me if we'd see them again, the people we used to know. I said tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, we'll find out where they go. The fireflies don't know about the summer. They carry their small lights regardless. The last summer the fireflies came. We had nothing but the nights and the blinking in the darkness of 10,000 little lights. The last summer the fireflies came. I held her hand so tight. I thought if I could keep her warm enough, we'd both be alright. Sweetness in the worst of it, the firefly that lands on her sleeve, the smile she gives it. I keep that image the way you keep a match, the thing that burned, the only light you had. I am still here in the summer, and the fireflies still come, and I can't look at them the same way since the summer that they came. Everything that ended, everything that went ahead without me, everything I couldn't carry or couldn't hold. The fireflies still come, they still don't know. They carry their small lights, they always will. The last summer the fireflies came. We had nothing but the nights and the blinking in the darkness of 10,000 little lights. The last summer the fireflies came. I held her hand so tight. I thought if I could keep her warm enough, we'd both be alright. Still blinking, still coming. Every summer they come back, and I watch them from somewhere she used to stand.
A ticket with no destination mark. The clerk looked at me oddly, or I at him. I said I'd like the next departure, please. He stamped the paper thin. The train was there already, hissing slightly. I chose a window on the shadow side and opened up my notebook to the middle of a sentence I had started some miles wide. And where is it going? Someone asked. I said that's not the point of it at all. The going is the whole of going somewhere, and arriving is just when the going falls. The train to nowhere, which is everywhere. The track runs past the map and keeps on straight. The train to nowhere, past the right eyes feels the mountains, past the dead, past the dark, past the too late. The dining car is empty, but the menu's fine. The window holds whatever's going past. The train to nowhere, I'll be on it as long as there's a window and the movement lasts. The train to nowhere carries everything I have. My teacher showed me how to see the edge of things that look ordinary but are not. He left too soon and left a margin in the world, a blank I learned to fill with what he'd got. I carried it the way a traveler carries luggage. It shifts, it weighs, it's oddly hard to drop. But that means you're still going somewhere, technically, and I refuse to pull the cord and stop. Between the living and the lost was a dream. I kept returning to a corridor where the dead stood in a line. Not frightening, familiar, nearly comfortable, the way a train station feels at night. I wrote about the dark because it felt like home, the way the moment just before the dawn has its own specific warmth, its own specific grammar that vanishes the second it comes on. I gave myself a name that meant 100 things, absurd and clear like most good names should be. I am the man who rides for riding's sake, who chose the train above the destination fear. My cat is probably asleep on my desk somewhere. My creditors are probably still awake, but the train is moving through a purple countryside, and I have my notebook and the view's not fake. The train to nowhere, the ticket has no print on the return side. The train to nowhere, the conductor smiled and moved on, and somewhere a man in a window seat is writing in the middle of a sentence. The train moves, the sentence continues.
The candle burns down to its last half-inch. The coffee in the cup has gone to cold. The ceiling holds the same cracks it held at midnight. A map of nothing read by someone old. He lost the God he borrowed in his 20s, returned the faith like a book he couldn't finish. The dark moved in and never asked permission, and what remained was not grief, just the distance. Not afraid, not hoping, just watching the dark. The ceiling at 3 a.m. is honest. It makes no promises, it holds no light. The man below has stopped expecting answers and found it kinda quiet in the night. No God arrived, no meaning swept him open. The void sat down beside him like a friend. He looked at it and wrote it down exactly. No comfort at the beginning, none at the end. The city stones outside are wet with winter. The window frames the lamplight, nothing more. He does not name the thing that keeps him waking. He only notes it only keeps the score. 80 years of writing into darkness, no resolution earned, no altar found. Just the pen moving across the paper, recording what is lost without a sound. Not afraid, not hoping, just watching the dark. The ceiling at 3 a.m. is honest. It makes no promises, it holds no light. The man below has stopped expecting answers and found it kinda quiet in the night. No God arrived, no meaning meaning swept him open. The void sat down beside him like a friend. He looked at it and wrote it down exactly. No comfort at the beginning, none at the end. They ask, was it despair? He would have said no. Despair still wants something. This was cleaner than that. The candle does not mourn the room it leaves dark. The cup does not grieve the coffee grown cold. He watched the nothing with his tired open eyes and wrote it all the way to 80 years old. The rain has stopped somewhere past 4 o'clock. The cobblestones reflect the dying flame. He closes the notebook, leaves the cup unfinished, goes to bed without relief or blame. The void is not a wound, it is a weather, a climate he learned to live inside. Not bitter, not at peace, just very honest about the size of what he could not find. The ceiling at 3 a.m. is honest. It makes no promises, it holds no light. The man below stopped expecting answers and found a kind of quiet in the night. No God arrived, no meaning swept him open. The void sat down beside him like a friend. He looked at it and wrote it down exactly. No comfort at the beginning, none at the end. The candle, the cup, the ceiling, the same cracks. Nothing changed, nothing needed to. He was still here, still watching. That was enough.
I left my hometown with the pack on my shoulder. The southern sea still ringing in my ears. The road going north was longer than I reckoned, and the sake made the distance disappear. I count the mountains in the tanker notebook. I count the rivers and the morning birds. By the time I reach the next town past the cedar, I've already run out of better words. The white bird in the poem doesn't settle, not in the blue of sky, not in the blue of sea. It drifts between them, neither one nor other, and I think that bird has always been just me. White sails on the morning water, going somewhere I have never been. I pour another cup of sake and follow where the road goes clean. The harbor wakes and I am walking the next town, waiting past the hill. White sails on the morning water. I am not lost, I'm just not still. 3 cups of sake and the innkeeper's daughter sang something old and coastal and unknown. I wrote it down before the lamp went out, then kept it warm the next day walking home. The morning mist on the lake was silver. The mountain pass at dusk was turning red. Some men go home when the season changes. I go looking for the road ahead. The white bird in the poem doesn't settle, not in the blue of sky, not in the blue of sea. It drifts between them, neither one nor other, and I think that bird has always been just me. White sails on the morning water, going somewhere I have never been. I pour another cup of sake and follow where the road goes clean. The harbor wakes and I am walking the next town, waiting past the hill. White sails on the morning water. I am not lost, I'm just not still. The white swan drifts, is it not sorrowful? I sang it walking in the rain. The sky was blue above the gray clouds.
The sea was blue below the gray, and the swan between them, neither land nor harbor, just floating through the sad and beautiful day. Doesn't grieve the bird, it only drifts, and that is enough to make me grieve. 11,000 tanker by the end of it, 11,000 mornings in the field. I don't know which is sake and which is sunrise, but both of them have taught me how to feel. The coast back home is still inside me. I carry it on every road I take, and when the weight sails leave the morning harbor, I wave to them the way I wave to home. White sails on morning water, going somewhere I have never been. I pour another cup of sake and follow where the road goes clean. The harbor wakes and I am walking the next town, waiting past the hill. White sails on the morning water, I am not lost, I'm just not still. The white bird drifts, the sake pours, not in the sky, not in the sea. Somewhere between them, a man from the shore is riding his way through the morning. The sails go away and fall.
I kept changing my name because the year kept changing. I was 31, then 2, then 3. The calendar kept moving and I kept signing. It was a joke at first, and then a system, and then a fact. My name was the year I was in, and I thought, what better monument than a name that won't last? A name you have to update like a license, like a debt. Skip 34, that one sounds like a bad death. 35 it is, and I will stay there. A cab waiting outside, the meter running. I borrowed 5 yen and got back to the game. A cab waiting outside for a man who forgot it because the board was interesting and the night was long. I drove an airplane because I could. I wore the sword because it was beautiful. I sat in the front row of my own disaster and found the view magnificent. The debt was not a tragedy. The debt was the price of the front row, and I had no interest in the cheaper seats. Skip 34, that one sounds like a bad death. 35 it is, and I will stay there. A cab waiting outside, the meter running. I borrowed 5 yen and got back to the game. A cab waiting outside for a man who forgot it because the board was interesting and the night was long. At the end, someone else picks up the pen and writes the chapter I left open. I don't mind, it's what friends are for, to finish the sentence when the voice goes. The board is still interesting, even flat on your back. The pieces still mean something. I am 35, I will stay there. The name I chose is the name on the stone. Oh, no. 600 people came to say goodbye. Some brought swords, some brought stories. Some sat down and played until dark, because that is how you say it. I am not a warrior.
a cab outside and played until it cost more than I borrowed. And that is the only life I wanted, and I had it every loud and bankrupt year of it. Every time the name changed, every time I stayed. A cab waiting outside, the meter running. I borrowed 5 yen and got back to the game. A cab waiting outside for a man who forgot it because the board was interesting and the night was long. The cab's still outside, still waiting. Someone else's move. The game not finished, but 35 and staying. 35 and staying. At 47, I put the pen to the page, and something that had been patient stopped being patient and came through. It was not inspiration, it was more like enough. The gate is open, and I am done waiting at the gate. Year by year, the sorrow grows deeper, and yet the life grows brighter. It is not a contradiction, it is the only truth I know. Deeper the sorrow, brighter the flame. The lantern she lit and unlit and lit again. Deeper the sorrow, brighter the strange. Light at the end of a long life you didn't expect to be beautiful. I lived outside the usual arrangements, which sounds romantic until it is your life, and then it is just the particular loneliness of a door that opens from the inside. But the door kept opening and people kept walking through it, and the arrangement turned out to have its own beauty. The old woman in the story said, I have been an oil lamp all my life, turning on and off, and now I'm burning to the bottom, which is another way of saying this is not a sunset. This is something else I don't have a name for yet. Year by year, the sorrow grows deeper, and yet the life grows brighter. It is not a contradiction, it is the only truth I know. Deeper the sorrow, brighter the flame. The lantern she lit and unlit and lit again. Deeper the sorrow, brighter the strange. Light at the end of a long life you didn't expect to be beautiful. While I was writing a telegram across the sea, a long way away, a child I raised was in a city I couldn't reach. They sent the news in stages, which is a kind of mercy and a kind of cruelty that I will not blame anyone for. I did not stop writing, not because I didn't care, but because writing was the only thing big enough to hold it. In 2 years I wrote enough for a life, because I had a life to write from, 40 years of it that no one had asked about yet. The doctors found me before the book was closed, but the book was not closed, the book was not closed. When I laid down the pen, the sorrow was deep and the flame was bright, and I had finally begun, and that was everything. Deeper the sorrow, brighter the flame. The lantern
she lit and unlit and lit again. Deeper the sorrow, brighter the strange. Light at the end of a long life you didn't expect to be beautiful. Still burning, still burning, still the lantern, the telegram, still traveling, the page still warm. Deeper, brighter, deeper, brighter.
The buildings came down one by one. I stood among the beautiful wreck. They said, how terrible, how lost. I said, I've never seen so far. The rubble had a kind of light that finished walls had never made. The honest things come out when things fall down and show you what was laid. Fall if you have to, fall beautifully. The ruins are more true than anything that stands. Beautiful ruins, beautiful ruins. I built my life inside the broken wall. Beautiful ruins, beautiful ruins. I found myself by watching something fall. Not despite the ruin, because of it. The collapse was not the end, it was the start of it. Beautiful ruins, I'm still here. They gave us rules and gave us codes. They gave us perfect things to be. I wore them like a borrowed coat that kept the cold in, not the free. The cherry blossoms fall the same on rubble and on polished stone. They don't care what they're falling on, they only know they're fully blown. Fall if you have to, fall beautifully. The ruins are more true than anything that stands. Beautiful ruins, beautiful ruins. I built my life inside the broken wall. Beautiful ruins, beautiful ruins. I found myself by watching something fall. I wrote about the ones who fell, the ones who chose the honest dark, who didn't dress the wound in silk, who let the scar remain the mark. Because the human thing is this, we fall and then we get back up. Not clean, not fixed, not as we were, but more ourselves than we have been. There was a woman in the dark, there were blossoms overhead. We sat among the beautiful ruins and for a night forgot the dead. I don't know how to say it right. The ruins had a quality of grace. Something in the broken shape made room for something in its place. Beautiful ruins, beautiful ruins. I built my life inside the broken wall. Beautiful ruins, beautiful ruins. I found myself by watching something fall. Not despite the ruin, because of it. The collapse was not the end, it was the start of it. Beautiful ruins, I'm still here. They asked
this way? Why celebrate what falls apart? I said because the broken thing is honest. In a way the whole is not. The ruins don't pretend, they show the grain inside the beam. They show the color underneath. They are exactly what they seem. Beautiful ruins, beautiful ruins. Something honest in the rubble. Beautiful ruins, beautiful ruins. Something living in the lost. And somewhere a man is standing in the ruins of the thing he used to be, and finding